In the vast, silent blue, where sunlight fades to a distant memory, a lone dolphin named Echo served as a beacon. He was a guide, his sleek form a silver promise in the deepening twilight, leading souls lost in the endless dark. His clicks and whistles were a language of hope, a sonar map back to the sun-drenched shallows. For ages, he had patrolled this boundary between worlds, a solitary guardian of the light. But from the Stygian depths of the abyssal plane, something ancient and malevolent stirred. A trench, a scar on the ocean floor, birthed a nightmare. It was the Abyss Leviathan, a creature not of flesh and bone, but of shadow and insatiable hunger. Its form was a chaotic tangle of colossal tentacles, each tipped with a chilling, bioluminescent lure. And its maw was a vortex that didn't just consume flesh, but swallowed the very light itself. One day, as Echo guided a shimmering school of lanternfish, a new darkness fell. It was a cold, creeping void that extinguished the gentle glow of the fish, one by one. The water grew still, the familiar currents replaced by an oppressive pressure. Echo's sonar pinged into the emptiness, and the return signal was wrong. It was a shape of impossible size, a moving mountain of dread that absorbed sound and light. The Abyss Leviathan had risen. Panic rippled through the deep. The Leviathan ascended, its tentacles unspooling like a living net, the lures pulsing with a hypnotic, deadly rhythm. It was a force of nature, a living embodiment of the ocean's deepest fears. Echo, witnessing this devouring shadow, knew he could not face it alone. His duty was no longer just to guide, but to protect. He turned from the encroaching darkness and swam with a speed born of desperation. He sent out a powerful, complex series of clicks, a call he hadn't used in years. It was the SOS of his kind, a summons to his pod, his family. The sound wave traveled, a desperate plea echoing through canyons and across plains of seagrass, reaching the sunnier waters where his brethren played. They heard, they answered, first a dozen, then 50, then 100 dolphins broke from their hunts, and games, their sleek bodies arrowing towards the source of the call. They were a silver tide of loyalty and courage, their combined calls a chorus of defiance against the encroaching night. They found Echo, a lone sentinel against a moving wall of blackness. Seeing his family rally to his side, Echo felt a surge of courage. He wasn't just a guide anymore, he was a commander. He chirped a series of sharp, strategic commands. There was no outmuscling the Leviathan, but they had a weapon the beast of the abyss could not comprehend: unity. And sound, focus your sonar, Echo's call resonated. Aim for the head, the space between the tentacles. We will be a storm of sound. With a unified cry, the pod unleashed a barrage of high-frequency sonar blasts. It was a sonic torpedo, a concentrated wave of sound that slammed into the Leviathan. The creature, accustomed to the crushing silence of the abyss, recoiled. It had no ears, but the vibrations were a physical blow, a disorienting assault that made its shadowy form shimmer and distort. It roared, a silent, pressure wave of a sound that shook the very water and lashed out with its immense tentacles. Dolphins scattered, their agility their greatest defense. They weaved and dodged the colossal limbs, their movements a synchronized ballet of evasion. Echo saw a weakness. The Leviathan was powerful but slow, its rage making it clumsy. He also saw their destination, a nearby ancient coral formation, a labyrinth of massive, brittle structures. A cave of coral, weakened by time, an idea as brilliant and dangerous as a lightning strike, formed in his mind. He broadcast the plan to the pod. It was a risky gambit, a maneuver that required perfect timing and absolute trust. They would not just attack the Leviathan. They would hurt it. The pod split into two groups. One continued the sonic assault, a constant, harassing fire that kept the Leviathan disoriented and angry, its attention fixed on the distracting pings. The other group, led by Echo, began a different kind of attack. They zipped past its massive head, nipping and nudging, acting as living lures. They were goading the beast, drawing its fury, and steering its blind rage. Slowly, painstakingly, they guided the colossal creature. The Leviathan, infuriated by the tiny, fast-moving irritants and battered by the constant sonic bombardment, gave chase. It followed them towards the towering coral cave, its immense body plowing through the water, intent on crushing these impertinent sparks of life. Echo led the charge, flying into the mouth of the coral cavern. The Leviathan followed, its massive form scraping against the entrance, sending showers of ancient coral dust into the water. The trap was set. Now! Echo screamed through the water, "All of you, full power. Aim for the supports, the base of the cave." The entire pod, now unified, turned their sonar on the fragile foundations of the coral structure. They unleashed a single, coordinated, deafening blast. It was the most powerful sound they had ever created, a crescendo of unity and desperation. The sound wave hit the brittle coral like a hammer blow. For a moment, there was only the ringing vibration. Then, with a deep, grinding groan, the ancient coral cave began to collapse. Huge shelves of rock and reef, millennia old, fractured and broke free. The Leviathan, trapped within, thrashed in confusion and fury as its prison crumbled around it. Tons of coral rained down, a landslide in the deep sea, burying the creature of shadow under a mountain of stone. A final, muffled tremor shook the water, and then silence, a profound, peaceful silence. The oppressive darkness the Leviathan had brought with it receded, replaced by the natural twilight of the deep. The water cleared where the monster had been. There was now only a newly formed mound on the seafloor, a tomb of coral. The lost souls, the lanternfish, flickered back to life, their tentative glow spreading. Soon, other bioluminescent creatures, emboldened by the return of peace, added their own light. The deep began to shimmer, not with the cold, predatory lures of the Leviathan, but with the warm, gentle glow of life. Echo looked at his pod, his family, their silver bodies illuminated in the renewed light. They had faced the abyss and won. They hadn't just saved themselves, they had saved the light itself. The ocean glowed once more, a testament not just to the absence of darkness, but to the brilliant power of life, courage, and unity. And in the heart of that glow, the pod swam together, no longer just dolphins, but guardians of the deep. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible underwater journey. If you loved this story of courage and light, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more epic tales from the depths. We'll see you in the next video.